One of my absolute favorite quotes comes from Simon Sinek. It's from a TED Talk of his in which he says the goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with those who believe what you believe. This was particularly evident for me when a friend of mine shared an experience she had at work. She'd been doing some research into staff engagement tools, not because this was part of her role particularly, but it was an area of personal passion. And before she presented her findings, she thought it would be a good idea to get a perspective on where the organization was at on this subject. So she asked someone in the senior management team, and the feedback she received was that the organization felt it was a great idea in theory, didn't work for them. That there was a particular year that they tried a number of initiatives and they weren't able to maintain sustained levels of staff motivation, improved productivity, so they decided, great in theory, doesn't work in practice. My friend and I agreed that so long as the senior management team were all adamant about that belief, then yes, it would be an unattainable reality for them. I dream of working with people who are committed to creating a work environment where a fat, juicy smile of anticipation naturally spreads across the faces of all those associated to the organization, be they staff, customers, service providers, where eyes light up at the mention of the organization's name. And not because everything is perfect every time, but because there's a genuine commitment to doing the best possible, to finding solutions in which everybody wins, where diversity is embraced and things like innovation and creativity are celebrated, and where it's safe to boldly raise your hand to claim responsibility when there's a major stuff up, because you know that the focus is going to be on getting a clear, objective description of what happened, see what needs to be done next, and what can be learned going forward. For me, it's not about trying to convince those who don't believe. It's about finding those who do and getting on with it, and setting an example of what's possible by being it. This is the kind of work environment I believe in, and I know I'm not the only one. Take Ricardo Semler, for example. Ricardo embodies the power of a persistent belief that it is possible to grow a highly profitable, sustainable business that is people-focused. As CEO of Semco, a Brazilian company, over 20 years, revenue grew from $4 million to $212 million. Semco practices have included things like, in the hiring and promotion process, before any of that would go ahead, other people in the unit have the opportunity to interview and evaluate the candidate. For work hours, they're flexible, and it's the responsibility of each employee to track and set their own hours. Then take Zappos, online retailer, originally tracing its roots back to 1999 when they were shoes only. The service offering has grown, and in 2009 was acquired by Amazon for $1.2 billion. Still remains, largely without interference, run by the original CEO, Tony Hsieh. The Zappos differentiator, building customers for life through personal connections. In the words of Tony Hsieh himself, we asked ourselves what we wanted this company to stand for, and we didn't want to just sell shoes. I was passionate about customer service. Equally important has been the focus on company culture, where, for example, the Zappos 10 core values was born out of the input and feedback of the staff themselves. Company practices have included things like, after a new recruit has gone through several months of training, to discern whether they're really passionate about working at Zappos, offering them a substantial amount to quit, as well as a focus on staff development and growth, and a desire to change the world with their culture, focus on staff and customer happiness. Flexibility and resourcefulness. I like to deeply understand what an organization is about, how things work, what the current processes are, and how they can be optimized and improved. I pay attention to details, and I'm a fast, eager learner who asks a ton of questions. I've project managed and been very hands-on and responsible for a photographic book project that ran for a major NGO. I've worked in the fields of commercial office space rental. I've explored online automation, digital communication strategy, as well as the world of fashion watch brand management. I've worked in the VIP department of an online gaming service provider, managed affiliate sites, from building relationships to finance responsibilities, reporting, and putting in place an internal needs-specific system. An interesting combination of analytical as well as creative visual thinking, passion for delivering value, developing people, and creating an exceptional experience. My strengths lie in the areas of training, presenting, facilitating, as well as simplifying and optimizing processes.